Welcome back, everybody, to the 3-Star Academy. Here we are on day 2 of CWL for the month of August. Let's get straight into the attacks, starting with Monster attacking base 1. We do have a Hydra attack, Duke backpack, Giant Arrow, Army entering at the bottom. Frosty on that ricochet cannon helped out for the queen. That was nice. We do have the poison slowing down his main army there. Duke did a nice job of setting the funnel there on the left side. We have the warden ability coming through. Army is now approaching the core. We have a long shot on this base, which is interesting. Overgrowth for the back end. Revives the Duke. Everything looking really good so far. Totem for the Revenge Tower. Interesting rage placement there. I think it was really just to power the army through to the area that he wanted it to go. This is looking pretty crushed. Poison tower should pop here. There it goes. Alright, we're going to speed this one up. GG, Monster. Probably didn't need that last overgrowth there. Alright, we'll move on to the next attack. Lana hitting base 2. We got Super Bowlers. This is an interesting base. Do not like attacking bases like this. We have the Duke charge to start. Gonna get the Revenge Tower out of the way early. That is nice. Spirit Fox is gonna be in a rough shape after those giant bombs. But we do get the Revenge Tower cleared. And there goes the Spirit Fox. The chains and the fangs are looking really good through that area. Hopefully we can get quite a bit of value. Yeah, look at that. That air defense is gonna take out the Duke pretty quick though, right there. Alright, we have the bowlers coming in at 6 o'clock. Got a nice funnel from the Duke charge. We have the other two heroes in between 9 and 12. These bowlers are just going straight for the town hall. Yeah, it's already out. Interesting. The warden ability might have been forced there. There's no walls to go through. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Hopefully there's enough time to get through the walls. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but this is wrecked. That was a nice entry on the Super Bowlers, and the Duke charge got the value that it needed. King and Queen up at the top did everything that they needed to do. GG's, Lana. Moving on to attack number 3. My hit. Talking through this with Monster before, we did switch the army entry, which it's hard to know if it was for better or for worse. Anyway, I got 3-starred. Queen is going to come in between 6 and 9. The giant arrow. I don't remember if I got what I wanted. Yeah, I missed a back end air defense, but the Duke is there. Main army is going to come in between 9 and 12. I remember a lot of time being spent around the town hall. I don't know if that was, or what exactly that was due to, but I remember the army getting really hung up there. my initial plan was not to have to overgrowth the fire spitter, but they spent so much time there, and I was worried that too much damage was going to happen. So I ended up overgrowthing the fire spitter. But you can see that a lot of my army is just stuck around that town hall level. I know the logger was there giving problems, and then there's some storages. We have the ice golem, so I guess that does make sense. And now looking at the replay on what happened, but outside of that, it went to plan. I'm trying to think if there's anything else too notable with this attack. Might have not been the cleanest, but we did have plenty of power at the end to get through it. Yeah, not the cleanest attack. Probably could have been a lot earlier on those Inferno drags as well. Yeah, not too much available or left in the army here at the end, but we did have a revive that we'll use on the minion prince and a freeze as well. Alright, moving on to the next attack. We are going to skip 4. We did have a pretty unfortunate fail there, as well as on base 6, so looking at 5. We have a Super Bowler comp coming from AFAC. We do have a Duke charge to start. Invis for pathing, going straight at the mono. The logger is going to be troublesome there. Going to have to keep the Duke invised. That mono is going to be a problem. Interesting entry with the Duke charge. I don't know how many cycles he got with the Spirit Fox, but it didn't seem like too many on my end. Death damage takes out the Town Hall. The logger is still alive. Yeah, very interesting. We'll see. So bowlers come in right there. This is an interesting one. Pretty slow entry. We got the queen trying to set the hard edge there. Delayed healers. A lot of super bowlers just got sprung. Interesting. Army placement. From my perspective, not exactly sure if this went completely to plan on his side, but watching this back, it is a little bit interesting in some of the decisions that were made. Now, we did get the 3-star, so can't complain too much. But I don't know if I would have chose that entry for the Duke charge. And then I'm not quite sure about the delayed healers and Warden. But nonetheless, we do get the 3-star here. GG's. Alright, moving to base number 7 by Monster. Okay, we do have another Hydra attack. Queen Giant Arrow, Meteor Staff, and Backpack. It's a pretty standard army comp here. Alright, so Duke at 12 o'clock, Queen at 3. Gonna have the main army pushing here in between those two. Gonna be a quick warden ability, I would imagine, through this rage tower. There it is. And yeah, just raging through, getting that knocked out. We'll see what the overgrowth targets are going to be. Potentially the mono. We have the CC coming out. No poison, so I'll have to deal with that manually. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the overgrowth. So first one comes in, gets the revenge tower, the merged cannon, and I'm just, is it gonna overgrowth that same area again? That's why I personally don't like the 2 overgrowth. I think that it, in most cases, especially with Dragon Riders being such a quick army, it seems like overkill for me. Now, that being said, he might have needed it here because the Revenge Tower and that temp defense came back at an unfortunate time. But whenever I'm attacking bases, it doesn't seem like I utilize the second overgrowth very well, so I usually keep it out. Typically for another revive for the Dragon Duke and no modifiers. But yeah, I mean, it works out for Monster here. So again, GG's to him, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the 2 overgrowth comp. Yeah, plenty left to spare here though. Alright, GG's. Moving on to the next one. Base 8. We have Burr. With a Hydra attack as well. Dragon Duke between 6 and 9 o'clock. Is that a flame blower? No. Yeah, it is a flame blower. Alright, quite a bit of value there. Whenever I use the flame blower with the rocket backpack, I don't really appreciate the lack of the heart healing. So I do like my Dragon Duke to be able to heal quite a bit from the heart. So I've used it sparingly, but haven't had a lot of success with it. And I kind of don't enjoy it as much as like the backpack hard comp. So main army is in. Massive funnel. I mean, great job on that. We have pretty clear pathing the majority of the way here. Warden, but yeah, there we go. Maybe a little bit late on the Warden ability there. Don't like that merged cannon is doing so much damage. Probably a totem could have been used to distract that. Minion Prince ability on the Revenge Tower was nice. Got a lot of spell support. Pretty good value on that totem right there with the air defense and the scatter shot. We do have the enemy Duke here on the back end, and he does need to get through that Revenge Tower. It does go down by the Minion Prince and the Warden. This is wrapping up nicely. GG's, bro. Moving on to the next attack. 9 is hit by a blessing. Burr's ult, we'll see if it is a Hydra as well. Looks like it is Dragon Riders Inferno Drags. So slightly different comp here. I don't know if that's a preference of his with the 2 accounts or if just what he thought would be better for this base. We do have the Duke charge as the opener here. Baby Drag trying its best to do some funneling there. It is going to get a little bit of value, so that is nice. Town Hall goes down. I believe the Guardian is down. Yeah, I didn't see that part. Alright, Matt, quite a bit of value on this Duke charge as the opener. I mean, that is a lot of cleared buildings between the Duke charge and that one baby drag. We do have the RC in this comp instead of the Archer Queen. Does that have the yeah, it has the shield. So there'll be another funnel contributor here with the Seeking Shield coming in, softening up those defenses as he unleashes the Dragon Riders. Warden, Minion Prince come in. This base is already fairly crushed. I mean, that was immense value by the Duke charge. I will go ahead and speed it up here. There's nothing that's going to stop this army from clearing out this base. Rocket balloons come in. Overgrowth the back end, air defense, and scatter shot. Yeah, this base is crushed. GG's. Alright, moving on to base number 10. We have Boris. Boris did not wait until the last 30 minutes to attack in this war, which was appreciated. Although we did get the loss from the 2 misses. Alright, Duke charge to start. We do have another Hydra attack. We have Fangs, Staff, and Arrow. That mono, if it catches too many hits on the Dragon Duke, is obviously not going to be good. Rocket balloons will take out the mono though. Okay, Logger has been engaged with the Duke. He doesn't get it down though. Giant arrow straight down the center of the base. We have a couple of dragons to start, and then the rest of the army coming through as well. Queen should be able to set that edge. Frosty is going to help out on that Revenge Tower if it can lock on. Do have a totem to distract. Queen is going to survive here momentarily, so that's great. Yeah, now we have some pretty good pathing for the main Hydra to get through the rest of the base. Minion Prince ability might have been a little bit early for my taste on that. The Logger is down. Okay, we have the Dragon Duke coming back. Yeah, this is crushed at this point. GG's Boris. Moving on to base number 11. We have Rockstar coming in with super boulders. We do have another Duke charge going straight at the mono. Timing on these invises is going to be pretty important. Mono has gotten 3 hits already on the Dragon Duke. I don't think that would have been his intention. Okay, that is going to limit potentially the amount of value he's getting on this Duke charge. We have a fairly isolated core there with a Rage Tower and a Poison Tower. That is a pretty scary looking core. Okay, Duke charge is still going. Now out of invises. Not sure if he got the value that he wanted, but Super Bowlers now coming in at 9 o'clock. Ice Golem is tanking for the mono at the moment. Not exactly. It did hit the mono on the death freeze from the Ice Golem, so that was very helpful. It does now have a nice funnel once those initial buildings have been hit by the main army to get into the core, I would imagine. Yeah, there's the Warden ability. We're going to need some rages for sure, and that logger is going to be a pain to get through. But we do have a freeze going through now, so that was well timed. Logger's now down, CC's coming in. We have witches and ice golems that will be a little bit annoying to deal with. The majority of the base is now wrecked. We have the Dragon Duke coming back, and yeah, this is crushed at this point. GG's Rockstar. Moving on to base number 12. Hit by Lunar. It is going to be another Hydra attack. Over a minute left. So time was not an issue. We have the rocket backpack as the opener. Not sure if he wanted to get multiple air defenses there, or if he did, I might have missed it. Alright, Queen with the Dragon Duke. We have the Hydra entering there at about 5 o'clock. Air Wagon going to be setting the edge, hopefully. We have the Inferno Dragon to help out. Okay, another long shot base. Overgrowth coming in for the Fire Spitter and the Mono. That's pretty decent value right there. Army is circling the Town Hall, which you don't necessarily like to see. Rage comes down. That Inferno Drag is going to be pretty devastating there in the core to get that Town Hall, if it can survive. Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, so leaves the Town Hall standing for the moment. Double Overgrowth comp again, getting the Fire Spitter. Not sure if that was the spot intended for that totem, but the mono does eventually go down. We're out of spell support, but this is going to be more than enough to take care of the rest of the base. Yeah, I didn't like to see that Town Hall stay up for as long as it did, but other than that, GG's Lunar. Moving on to base number 13 by Jordan. It is another Hydra attack. Not very much time on this replay at all, so this is going to be crushed, I would imagine. E-Fangs, but no Duke charge. Gonna go straight for the Revenge Tower. Main army is already in. Yeah, the Fang chain was looking really good over there. Did help set up the funnel there. The majority of the army is trying to dodge that poison, which is nice. Yeah, they're going straight for the core. We have the Rage come down. Yeah, this was really nice. The funnel was very nicely set up. It was a really nice minion prince ability as well. And the freeze is coming through for the logger. Anytime you can keep that logger frozen, it really helps out a lot, because you take your eyes off of him and he can completely demolish your entire army. Would like a freeze on that Fire Spitter. There it goes. Yeah, GG's Jordan. Moving on to base number 14. Hit by Hustler. So Hustler, with his 2 accounts, I think were the last 2 attacks of the war. And the only bases left were 14 and 15, so interesting there for him. We do have the Rocket Balloons Super Minions, Fireball, Rocket Backpack, Giant Arrow. Once again, this is his attack of choice right now. And more power to him. I just, like I said in the day one video, I cannot do this at all. It just does not work for my eye, apparently, and I am not going to start trying to do it anytime soon. But pretty good fireball value there. I mean, this is looking really good from the start. Curious to see what the Rocket Backpack Giant Arrow targets are going to be. It's looking like the CC does get it down. And yeah, this is looking really nice. Iddies come in to support. Rocket Balloons start coming in as well. Replacing the Warden to a better, safer spot. Yep, just out of range of that scatter shot, I think, was the worry there. We do have the boogers currently taking for that air defense. It should go down, yeah, before it does or has any opportunity to do any damage to the healers. Yeah, looking really good. Is he going to swag the RC again? Is the question now. Still have yet to see the RC deployed. I'm getting flashbacks to last time where he did in fact swag the RC. Yeah, he is not going to deploy the RC yet again. And the base is crushed. GG's, Hustler. Moving on to the final base, we have Speedy, Hustler's ult, and it is going to be Rocket Balloons Super Minions once again with the Fireball, with the Giant Arrow, with the Rocket Backpack. So quick and easy Fireball right there. I might have been able to even do that Fireball, completely deleting the Rage Tower right there. Okay, now we got to look for Rocket Backpack Giant Arrow value. What is going to be the target? Still just babysitting that warden, making sure that nothing causes too much concern. The CC already being lured, again, just makes me really curious to see what the target is going to be for that Giant Arrow backpack combo. Replaces the warden at 6 o'clock. CC is being really annoying. Is that an apprentice warden in the CC? That was very interesting. All right. So he's still kind of targeted the CC. I'm not exactly sure what went down there. I would have imagined that he would have gone for that Rage Tower section as his target, but I will defer to his expertise for this specific army. We have quite a few super minions, one more rocket balloon to support and close out this attack. We do see, finally, the Royal Champion come and play in one of Hustler's attacks. So that is interesting. Finally needed to see the Royal Champion put some work in. All right, but this is now officially crushed. Don't love seeing that town hall stay up. Here at it's probably going to be the last building to go down. Yeah, that is always terrifying from a time fail perspective if it's a 99% 1-star. But you did get it done. GG, Speedy. Again, this was a loss on day 2, so hoping that we can correct ourselves on day 3. Although we already have 2 fails, we are currently, with the current day 3 scoring, sitting in 5th place with a lot of attacks to go. So see everybody tomorrow for the results of day 3. Thanks for watching.